before that side is complete. So I think this issue of free sitting is also confusing us. My humble prayer is that since we have Zoom, those members on that side who don't have where to sit can go out and Zoom. They share the plenary when they're on Zoom. Because it is very clear that this side is supposed to be for opposition and that side for. But maybe also you can let us know when this process of free sitting is going to end. It would go for the whole term, especially when the chambers are not complete. So my procedure matter is, Right Honorable Speaker, maybe you prevail over this issue and you tell these people at least they only come when we are full. No. But when they come and there are still spaces there, it is not proper. No, thank you, Right Honorable.
Honorable colleagues, you see, time is the best judge. I told you, I said I'll be having empty seats here. I remember the other day we are in corridors where now you have empty seats. Okay? So, me, I know you very well. I don't think I've been here for 10 years for nothing. I've learned not to panic on some of these issues. I just leave it time and the public will be seeing you. Just seeing your empty seats when we are receiving allowances, when we are paid well, and we don't come here. Okay? So I'm not about to say, if you don't find a seat, go on Zoom. No, because I know you will always find a seat here. But also, some of them, I think, they are trying to be, I'm sure if I was a backbencher, I would be seated near Honorable Karuya, because Honorable Karuya has just left this side. He's been a very good friend. He has many friends this side. So Honorable colleagues coming to be near you the way you are near, it shouldn't be a problem. So colleagues, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. So next item.
Laying of papers. Proposal to borrow up to euro 207,770,000 from Citibank and other financial institutions to finance the design and build of Jinja Burambuti Road.
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the proposal to borrow up to euros 207.77 million from the Citibank and other financial institutions to finance the design and build of the Jinja-Bramuti Kamlibukungu Road, 127 kilometers, and the Jinja City Roads, 10 kilometers project in Uganda. I beg to lay, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, Honourable Minister. As required under Rule 162 of the Rules of Procedure, I refer the loan request to the Committee on National Economy and in consultation with the sector committee that is relevant. Out of laying of paper, Honourable Nsamba.
Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to begin by congratulating the people of Kamuli for which this road will, Kamuli and Jinja City, for which this road loan as submitted by the Minister of Finance will serve. Right Honourable Speaker, why I stood up here, I just needed to know the procedure. What interests the Minister of Finance to borrow for some roads and forget completely those ones, other roads? I'll give an example. Much of the gold that comes in this country.
Honorable Msamba, procedure should be a matter under the control of the Speaker. Okay? procedure. That's why the speaker always has to guide on procedure. So, no, please, 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 save me. Please, I request you. Okay? I request you. Okay? These are the issues you will consider during debate. Laying of papers. That's why I said on laying of papers. Yeah? So procedure should be reserved to issues within the power of the speaker. So the minister deciding which road to borrow fund, what, those are not my issues. Those are his issues. But we shall question him here when we are debating. And you can even refuse to pass the loan by saying, also bring the loan for this area. Okay, so I request colleagues, don't put me in an area that is not mine. I want to remain in my boundaries. Honorable Seungu?
Mr. Speaker, within your powers, again, my procedural matter, whether it's procedure okay to know this Parliament agreed that new districts should be given adequate attention on such loans so that they can also get some tarmac. So would it be procedure got to know from the minister when loans for new districts with no single tarmac, like Kalungu and others, will ever get money to get some tarmac?
Thank you. No, Honorable, I don't have it anywhere on record. Parliament agrees through resolutions. So if you can remind me that resolution, no, please, when I say through a resolution, you can table it here that on this day, Parliament resolved. Parliament agrees through resolutions, not opinions which members bring here. So when we say we agreed, then I need a resolution. But if there are opinions of when I was here, I submitted. That was a submission. Next. So, sectoral committee, since we have new members, so sectoral committee, you have 14 days to look through the loan, and then you see to the work plan. You report to the National Economy Committee that should conclude the process. So within 45 days maximum, we should have the report back here for consideration. Next item.
Item 3 on the other paper, designation of members to standing committees and sectoral committees in accordance with Rule 167 and 195 of the Rules of Procedure.
Government Chief Whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Rule 195 of the Rules of Procedure, I designate Honorable Nabaiga Aida, District Woman Representative Kalangala, to the Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry. And further, pursuant to Rule 167, I designate Honorable Nabaiga Aida, District Woman Representative Kalangala, to the Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government. Pursuant to the same provisions, Rule 167, I designate Honorable Otto Edward McMott, Agago County, to the Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline. Right Honorable, this is because he had missed out on the earlier designation to a standing committee. And further, I designate Honorable Kateshumbwa Dixon, Shema Municipality, to the Committee on Budget, and redesignate Honorable Naju Masara to the Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation. I beg to submit.
Honorable colleagues, I put a question that the proposed designations are approved by Parliament. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Now, colleagues, most of you are coming, reaching out at us as presiding officers. NRM, you are under the government chief whip. As presiding officers, we don't have any power to designate either a member of the NRM or the opposition political parties. The only members that we have powers on are independents. So kindly continue engaging the government chief whip and see how best she can sort out any pending issues or complaints. Because even when you come to us, we must go to her and him also to beg and justify and all that. So I think it should be handled that way. Yes, opposition chief whip.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, under Rule 167(2), I beg to redesignate Honourable Achom Alobo Joan, City Woman Representative for Soroti City, to the Committee of Government Assurance from the Committee of Science and Technology. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to redesignate Honourable Serukenya David, MP Machinde Sabagabo, to the Committee of HIV, AIDS and Related Diseases from the Committee of Equal Opportunities. Right Honourable Speaker, sir, I beg to redesignate Honourable Namtawe Joan, this woman representative of Masaka District, to the Committee of Government Assurance from the Committee of Science and Technology. I beg to redesignate.
Colleagues, I put a question that the proposed designations be approved. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Next item.
Motion for a resolution of Parliament to support the deployment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent as part of an international stabilization force in the Gaza Strip at the invitation of the United States of America.
Honourable Minister for Defence.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the motion is moved under Section 38(2) of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act and Rule 61(1)(k) of the Rules of Procedure of this House. Aware that Article 210, Article 210, Clause D of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda mandates Parliament to make laws regulating the Uganda People's Defence Forces, including the deployment of troops outside Uganda. Noting that Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defence Forces Act provides that the President may deploy troops outside Uganda for purposes of peacekeeping with the approval of Parliament. Further noting that on the 7th of October 2023, Hamas and allied armed groups launched a large-scale attack in southern Israel, killing around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking more than 250 hostages. In retaliation, Israel responded with a large-scale military campaign aimed at dismantling Hamas and recovering the hostages, which has caused mayhem in the Gaza Strip. Aware that the current Israeli-Palestine conflict is rooted in more than a century of competing national movements, disputed territory, repeated wars, and failed peace efforts that has led to extensive destruction in the Gaza Strip, a very high death toll, mass displacement, and severe humanitarian crisis, requiring immediate intervention to protect the civilians and allow for increased humanitarian access in parts of affected directly by the conflict. Cognizant that the United Nations Security Council, at its 10,046th meeting on the 17th of November 2025, adopted Resolution 2803 of 2025, which among other things welcomed the establishment of the Board of Peace as a transitional administration with international legal personality that will set the framework and coordinate funding for the redevelopment of the Gaza Strip pursuant to the comprehensive plan and in a manner consistent with the relevant international legal principles until such a time as the Palestinian Authority has satisfactorily completed its reform program as outlined in various proposals, including the peace plan as presented by His Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States in 2020, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Republic of France, and can securely and effectively take back control of the Gaza Strip. Recalling that Resolution 2803 of 2025 calls upon member states and international organizations to work with the Board of Peace to identify opportunities to contribute personnel, equipment, and financial resources to its operating entities and to give full recognition to the International Stabilization Force, acts and documents. Noting that in the month of July 2026, His Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States, via multiple emissaries, contacted His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, seeking Kampala's contribution to the International Stabilization Force by sending Uganda People's Defense Forces contingent. Further noting that on various dates within the month of July 2026, the Republic of Uganda, in accordance with Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Act, has held planning meetings between the Uganda People's Defense Forces, senior leadership and officials of the United States Embassy in Kampala, as well as the leadership of the International Stabilization Fund on the deployment of Uganda People's Defense Forces contingent to the Gaza Strip. Aware that following the invitation by His Excellency Donald Trump, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, is ready to deploy in the Gaza Strip the desired Uganda People's Defense Forces contingent in accordance with Section 38 of the Uganda People's Defense Forces Act. Appreciating that the acceptance of the request by His Excellency Donald Trump, the President of the United States, by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, is anchored in the following legal, diplomatic, and humanitarian and strategic justifications. 1. Participation of Uganda in the International Stabilization Force is consistent with the national objectives, in particular, National Objective 27.2, which provides that Uganda shall actively participate in international and regional organizations that stand for peace and for well-being and progress of humanity. Additionally, Uganda has a strong army with capable organizational structures, which has enabled Uganda to successfully support peace operations, notably AMISOM, now AWSOM, South Sudan, Central African Republic, and various United Nations peacekeeping missions to enhance international peace and security. 3. Uganda's participation as part of the International Stabilization Force will aid in preventing further conflict in the region, thus contributing to broader international security by reducing risks of renewed armed conflict between Israel and Palestine, preventing extremist groups from exploiting instability and sabotage the ceasefire implementation process. Uganda's participation will enhance monitoring of compliance, supervise implementation of security arrangements, assist in demobilization, and support the return to normalcy of the otherwise unpleasant situation obtaining currently. Uganda's participation as part of the International Stabilization Force will guarantee an ample opportunity for antagonizing sides to plan for ushering in peace in the Gaza Strip. 6. Uganda's participation in the International Stabilization Force will contribute to elimination of terrorist cells that have greatly contributed to international terrorism, that have in the past used the Gaza Strip as a base of operations due to the ongoing conflict. Firmly committed that throughout the period of deployment, the Uganda People's Defense Forces will remain neutral, comply with international humanitarian law, protect civilians without taking sides in political disputes, and operate under clearly defined rules of engagement. Now, therefore, be it resolved by this Parliament as follows. We seek the resolution of Parliament that Parliament supports the decision of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to deploy the Uganda People's Defense Forces in the Gaza Strip for a peacekeeping mission in accordance with the Constitution of Uganda and Section 38 of Uganda People's Defense Forces Act. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Is the motion seconded? Major General Masiko, Major General Gonyi, Colonel Sylvia Meme, Colonel Christine Nekesa, Honorable Omara, I don't know whether he has a rank. Honorable Dr. Wakida, Amuria, Ngora, Honorable Captain John Bosco Kashari, Dr. John Okia, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Second Deputy Prime Minister, and the front bench, which includes finance, who will guarantee money, Attorney General ensuring the road is clear, and Minister for Health, who will ensure that our people are healthy, Honorable Bicham, Honorable Chambade, Honorable Peace, Honorable Hunter, and many of you, Honorable Wanyota, and please, many of you, Honorable Kajwenje, former Chair Defense. Yes, thank you, Honorable colleagues. Honorable Minister, do you have any, or do you want to add any additional justification, or this is enough?
I've given the justification in my motion.
Thank you. So, I open up for debate, and I'll start with the Shadow Minister for Defense. Procedure.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, for the record, we are dealing with a very serious matter where we have to commit the country. We were served with the order paper for today. I acknowledge your powers to amend the order paper to introduce any matter of any nature. But given the seriousness of this matter, and in a subtle way, I saw how my good friend, Honorable Minister of Defense, brought in this, and the resolution we're about to make today. I would only, Right Honorable Speaker, wonder whether it's not procedurally right that you adjourn, you give us some time for us to address our mind to the motion, and also using our technical officers to review the previous deployments we have made. Otherwise, from my perspective, if we took this one, we passed a resolution with the ramifications thereunder, it will not be fair on our side, Right Honorable Speaker. I seek your indulgence on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, I must put it on record that the Minister for Defense brought this motion much earlier. He did his part. So it was an oversight on my side for not putting it on the order paper. So I want to own up. And today is Thursday, and I have been there are on some of these issues. But, colleagues, here which are big, that depends on you. Most critical. No matter you think it's big, we are always ready. We've been reviewing. This is an issue just for debate. And of course, I was reminded earlier on order of business, Rule 26, Rule 1, that I must give government business a priority. So I have to ensure this is sorted out today. Either we accept or we don't accept, but we finish our part. Yeah. And Honorable Muira, I'm very sure with your experience, we are going to debate. Let's open the debate and you see. It's going to be a robust debate. Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, much as I would have no objection for our Uganda People's Defense Forces to go for peacekeeping missions, Mr. Speaker, I have issue with our forces being in quite a number of countries, Central African Republic, DRC Congo, Somalia, Sudan, mention it. And now we are about to dispatch another contingent to Gaza Strip. Mr. Speaker, under normal procedure would be required as the legislature to know the performance of our missions, peacekeeping missions in these countries, and then would be able to assess and determine whether surely we are doing very well to release another force
to a very risky, high-risk region like the Gaza Strip. The Speaker, because this is in the Gaza Strip, unlike these other countries I've mentioned, it is urban warfare, and it becomes very difficult to distinguish between combatants and civilians. And therefore, the risk of ambushes is extremely high. And I would want to, as a Parliament of Uganda, to be as protective to our forces as much as possible, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Now, that was a good debate. Yes. No, that's not procedure. That wasn't procedure. That was a debate. So, and I'm sure we've... I said,
Will
say
be-
you must pass.
Right Honorable Speaker, it will be unfair for us to reject or to accept without doing the work the way Parliament is supposed to do it. The matter of deploying our soldiers to a very risky place like Gaza, where Israel strikes every now and again, Right Honorable Speaker, cannot be just casually passed here. We have to prepare enough.
Honorable colleagues, please. Honorable Samba, first take your seat. Okay? Please. Please. If you know you've come here to do casual work, go out. We are doing serious work here. Okay? We are here to do serious work. Anyone who feel they are doing casual work, just get out. Please, debate. Honorable Seungo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, you see, we as members of Parliament, and even the opposition, you don't take us for the sake of thinking that whenever you have anything you want to do by government, we are against you. But your packaging sometimes is a problem. For example, you've been in the government. Dr. Chionga, Honorable Prime Minister, was a Minister of Defense. And in a number of occasions, you could take soldiers and then you come for approve after taking. Here you are today with the Council Shiriowa, Honorable Shiwa, fellow land friend. He has come to seek for motion before a deployment. Then, we were together in the Committee of Defense on Tuesday. He has fully mobilized this side, leaving out the opposition member who is his counterpart, the Minister of Defense. And I am ambushed on the floor of Parliament. But Mr. Speaker, why we come in to contest the way the motion is brought and seeking for indulgence is to have a fruitful procedure for carrying out this particular exercise. Members of Parliament from Nebi, go to a place called Parombo and look for a person who was a sergeant called the Sergeant Okumu in the military police. He came from America for a military course, and on arriving at Bomba after 3 years, one officer, a sergeant, had committed offenses and was in prison. What happened? They said, no, who can lead this team? He said, let us send this one. The moment he arrived in Somalia, after being deployed, from America, that very night he came back. In Somalia, he was hit on arrival, and they all died. These are the things we are looking at. Mr. Speaker, sir, and the Honourable Minister of Defense, there are questions you have to ask. There are areas you want to know. That's why the Speaker was asking you, are you speaking to your motion? And you stated what you have said is enough. But there are questions you want to know. Who are going? How will they be looked after? You insulate those particular areas that are of confidential to security,
But there are those that are supposed to be known by Parliament. When you talk about deploying my son, my brother, I must know the interests of his family as is going. I must know the interests of the country. What are the interests? What are benefits? But here we are, the Speaker, of course, with this number, you're going to win the motion. But facts will end up boomeranging on you. Let us debate, but give us room to give our concerns. Then those concerns can be addressed as fast as possible. Then your motion carries that day. And you
Honorable Sewungu, kindly give your concerns, okay? You see, motions of this nature, that's a problem. You see, it doesn't put weight to say, if it's a motion for deployment, you should give it this treatment. If it's a motion for where the rules are very explicit, motions which require a lot of scrutiny, assent committees, these are your rules. So you should have put it very clear in the rules, honorable colleagues, that for such an important motion, it should be referred to the Committee on Defense, scrutinize it, we call witnesses, we call former UPDF officers, we call who, but that's not what you did. So I'm only interpreting the rules you gave me. And that's why I'm confined, and I'm not ready to go outside the rules, okay? So please, let's, Honorable Sewungu, if you have any concerns, raise them, the minister should answer.
Mr. Speaker,
even if you don't conclude, raise your concerns.
No, actually, what you are saying, I'm in total agreement with you. By the more fact that the motion was sent to you, the Honorable Minister, looking at me here, would have even given us the same chance with my leader of opposition. Within those few hours before plenary, I would have prepared what to respond to. But here I am talking about Parombo, those who were killed, those who have not been paid. They are even soldiers, Mr. Speaker. So I don't know, but for me, of course, I'm not supporting your motion because it's an ambush on us. It's an ambush on us. And kindly, you are packaging. Procedure for what now? Huh?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Ugandans vote their best to represent them in this House. And we are representatives, not delegates, meaning we should be able and have the competence to address any matter which comes. We sit on the front bench, usually raise issues of national importance, and we respond immediately as ministers. So the point of procedure I am raising is why our colleagues are fearing to debate, because this debate,
That's it.
Right Honorable Speaker, is it procedurally right for our colleagues to fear debate? You have given us opportunity to raise any concerns. Yes, to raise any concerns, and the Minister of Defense, the Prime Minister, and the government is here to respond to the concerns.
Thank you.
So is it in order and procedurally correct for Honorable Sewungu to fear to represent his people in Karungu to debate this innocent and very straightforward motion?
Thank you.
Which is provided for in our rules?
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, I think Honorable Sewungu's fear came from, I think, was it the point of, was it Honorable Mwiro against Sewungu on Samba, who said they mobilized one side. Okay? So, but you see, this is not mobilization to vote. It's a contestation of ideas. Me, I will give both sides. But colleagues, we are talking. We have representatives of the UPDF here. We are saying we're exposing them to risks, to the dangers. Let me ask Major General Masco, whether this is a problem for you, who is representing the UPDF. No, he's an active soldier. Honorable Sewungu, you've never been even an LDU, so me and you on such issues. Hey, you are an LDU? No. Let General Masco. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I stand here to fully support the motion. First of all, it's not true that this is an ambush. I know we have a government paper. One of the headlines, and you can go to records, this matter was in the public domain, that Uganda is being requested to contribute to an international stabilization force as had been resolved in the United Nations with a resolution which was being cited in the motion. This is an international stabilization force where various countries will contribute contingents. It is really very surprising that anybody would be feeling unhonored that your country, working with superpowers, is being requested to participate in such an honorable cause for peace and humanitarian cause. It's quite surprising. As for the doctrine of participation in military operations, the army is trained not to be in a dancing hall. The army is trained to defend humanity, defend territories against any levels of threats. So if you are saying UPDF is incapable of confronting any threats, test what we found in Mogadishu when a big force from a superpower had failed to contain the situation in Somalia. The first contingent which entered Mogadishu, which is an urban center, in a worse situation than what actually now is happening in Gaza Strip, should be enough testimony not to doubt the capability and the capacity of your force. You should be very, very proud as Ugandans that Uganda People's Defense Forces is viewed as the anchor of stability in a sea of turbulence regionally and now globally. I know some of you may be worried. How come it is the President of the United States that is inviting and proposing that this international stabilization force? No, why the shock? But that's beside the point. The doctrine of the forces is that we don't go to dance, we go to confront threats against society, against humanity. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Let me pick Honorable Bamturachi Tumsime. Then Ongisto, you're coming after Honorable Tumsime.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Dear colleagues, members of Parliament, I stand here to support the motion. Two, to appreciate the Commander-in-Chief towards professionalizing the national force to an international standard now, and be proud about our UPDF. Right Honorable Speaker, by having this national force deployed outside, actually they are acquiring more skills. No wonder that's why we are on the market. How many countries are in the world and they have not been even contacted. And these superpowers are not even buzzed about them, but they know what Uganda people's force is. On the issue of time, Right Honorable Speaker, for the issues of security, when you are called upon to deploy, it should be with immediate effect. So I appeal to colleagues here, let us support the motion without delay, and we trust our force that it's going to acquire another grade on international standards. I support the motion and I submit.
Thank you, Major General Gonyi.
Right Honorable Speaker, in addition to what the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs has presented as justification, and my senior Major General Henry Masiko has presented, I wanted to add one point. That, Honorable Speaker, Uganda has submitted the name of a Ugandan to the UN seeking that he becomes the Secretary General of the United Nations. It will be direct shooting in our own legs to say that Uganda should not participate in United Nations deployment. Besides, Uganda is a member of this nation and a member of the community of nations that is required to participate in such missions that include bringing peace. We all know that the situation in Gaza is not good. It's despicable when you see how people are living. We cannot be in this house as members of the representatives of the rest of Ugandans who would want to live in a peaceful country, not to support the deployment of the UPDF to go and help members of the community that live in the Gaza Strip to have at least some semblance of peace and live normal lives like we do in our country. With that, Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Thank you. But, by the right Honorable Prime Minister, I think we are proud of our son being a candidate for the UN as a parliament. But I've been waiting to see whether you'd want to seek our support, the Parliament of Uganda, to also add a voice and urge the international community. You know, if you feel we can add a voice, you can come here, you move a motion, we pass a resolution supporting our very own son, Ambassador Arutunu. It would be good. Honorable Wanyoto was an expert in Somalia. She's still. Let me first take advantage of this expert. Yes, then Honorable Chirumira. Oh, then Ongiso. I'm coming after Honorable Wanyoto.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. For the record, I'm Lydia Wanyoto Mutende, one member of Parliament, Mbale City, and I rise to second the motion. Honorable members, like my other colleagues have said, Uganda is a member of the United Nations, and we have that obligation to stand up to the case whenever the need arises. Therefore, this is an obligation when we are called upon to contribute to an important cause like this one. But also, every time, like my colleagues have said, when you are trying to post candidates, like the case we have now, competing for the office of the Secretary General of the UN, they want to know that you showcase what you've done for the world. You don't just to go. You say we've done this, and therefore, then we post a candidate. Our biggest strength as a country is for peace and security in the world. That one you can take to the bank. Uganda is known for contributing to the world order in peace and security, not only in East Africa, but beyond. Therefore, I think that we should fly the Ugandan flag very high, support this motion, deploy in Gaza, and we shall then have our space and position in the UN. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you,
and
Honorable
colleagues.
Ngiso.
I support.
Honorable Ngiso Emmanuel, then Honorable
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to say something, and particularly when Nebi is mentioned. Let me start by saying I support the motion. And I add that the sons and daughters of Nebi who have died in the line of duty, as Nebi people, we are very proud of them. And I want to state here that if in the selection, again, sons and daughters of the Greater Nebi are included, we are going to be very happy, and we are only going to give them blessings so that they go and do everything that puts Uganda high up there. So let me ask people, let nobody try to discourage our children from this exercise. And I can assure you, we are ready. And as Greater Nebi, we are bordering Congo, for instance. And because we have brothers the other side, we believe whatever our forces are doing the other side is on good this side. So if we believe that what happens in Congo affects us, we must also believe that what happens in Gaza equally affects us. It may be far, but it affects us. So I want to support this motion, and I want to say no one should discourage our children. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Hassan Chirumira. Honorable Peter Okot.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda is a member state of the OIC, the Organization of Islamic Countries, where Palestine is a member. Given that we have an umbrella which joins Muslim countries, it might raise a diplomatic issue, especially not knowing which side Uganda is going to be on in Gaza. It's a battle. It's a battle between Palestine and Israel. They all fight a different war we do not know about. It has been there for years and years. And chances are that war is not about to end with the involvement of the UPDF. Now, the big question from the mover is to clarify to the country on which side is our army going to fight with. If it is a religious war, assuming, and given that Uganda is a member state of the Organization of the Muslim Countries, is it not going to raise a diplomatic issue between Uganda and the other member states of the OIC? Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Warusaka. Oh, Peter Okot, then Honorable Warusaka.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, this is not the first time that Uganda as a country is deploying outside Uganda. I must say that for the first time, that government is doing the right thing first. Honoring that parliament is important, bringing a motion before deploying. So I give them credit, and I urge them to continue doing the right thing. But Right Honorable Speaker, I think it is important that some time frame is placed to this. I remember when we deployed in Somalia, we didn't know we would stay in Somalia up to today. So it is important that some time frame is put for how long our participation is going to take in Gaza, but also our sons and daughters who will be going for deployment need to be treated well. We have information, stories from our sons and daughters who return from deployment complaining about their facilitations, that some people take advantage of their service. When they return, the package due to them either is given quarter or even not given at all. Many people who return, who are supposed to go and bond with their families, are kept in the barracks without allowing them to go back home because their facilitation have been hoarded by the people responsible. So this can also give a discouragement to selected members of the forces who are being taken for deployment. People who go for deployment need to go with open heart, clear-minded, without thinking backward that what could be the problem. So I think I support the motion so that we also participate in international arena. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, thank you, DP Whip and Shadow Minister. I hope the rope can align with you properly. But honorable colleagues, I was just reading. This is one of the issues I've tried it for up seriously, and I found, especially on the fears, I think this is the progress I've seen on it, and I was asking myself how the negotiations really took place. Hamas welcoming the force. I saw Hamas welcoming the force, and it's UN supported. It's not that it's unilateral or what. So when I saw Hamas welcoming the force, and then I saw Israel saying no, or we'll only withdraw if you put in this force, I felt that maybe this would be a big chance for Gaza to have peace. So, but he has raised very critical issues on the previous deployments. We don't want our children to go. You find the allowances are not coming. People turn against us and all that. Honorable Swaka.
Thank you, Honorable.
Honorable, procedure, just speak procedure and then.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. This is not our first time to deploy our forces for peace missions. In 2007, when we were going to deploy in Somalia, there was a motion tabled by the then Minister of Defense, who is now the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Chiyonga. When that motion came to the House, it was referred to the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs to review the terms of engagement. Among those terms, we need to know the agreement that has been signed between Uganda and the deploying organization. In this case, whether it's the UN, whether it's the US government, we don't even know yet. We also need to know the funding of this force. Who is going to fund our stay in Gaza? We also need to know so many of those details that we cannot get in the motion that the Honorable Minister has tabled. Because, Right Honorable Speaker, we are deploying lives. It's not about NRM, it's not about opposition. It's about the lives of the soldiers that we are sending for the peace mission. I think it's important that the Honorable Minister of Defense gives us, even if it's 2 days, we get these details. We scrutinize the motion.
Raise your procedure matter.
We scrutinize the motion.
Raise your procedure matter.
My procedure matter was, if there's already a precedent that was set in 2007 when we were deploying in Somalia, why can't it be followed now?
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, every parliament makes its rules of procedure. The rules of procedure is every motion that requires to go to the committee. The rules provide so. Okay? So, You might find the parliament that time, its rules of procedure required that. The rules of procedure, please, I'm a custodian of the rules. Come on. Okay? So the rules of procedure you have, they don't provide for that. So I request you, next time when we are going into amendment of the rules, you propose that, so that motions of this nature, for example, loans, you can see, they provide. It should go here, this one goes here. So, and you see, whenever I'm having any matter, I refer once the rules require me to do so. Once the rules don't, my hands are tied. Honorable Warswaka.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Land Council and the Minister for having given this Parliament its authority and also accepted. Right Honourable Speaker, in our culture in Butaleja, they say, if I give you chicken, a basket may be full of mangoes, when it comes back, it shouldn't come empty. At least you bring banana. America has supported us several. It is now high time, if they need our support, we also do the same. Right Honourable Speaker, America has supported us in education, in health. Right Honourable Speaker, I speaking, I also benefited from American training in engineering aspect. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to request members that we support. The good thing, the MPs representing the soldiers have supported. Right Honourable Speaker, the issue of Gaza, this is why fuel hiked. And if our people, they are going there, will try to reduce on the cost of living, especially in fuel, I support. However, I want to thank government this time on issues of corruption. They have started and they are biting. And I want to warn whoever will try to touch the monuments and the pay of the men and the women in uniform who will be going to offer their service. It is not business as usual. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to implore and I request this Parliament, as these officers go, Honourable Minister for Defence, you can call some few members, they pray for these people as they are going. Whenever you go for something, you have prayer. In Lango, they say Lubanga, so that you give for Lubanga. And I want to implore Honourable Minister and the Government Chief Whip, these members.
Thank you. But Honourable colleagues, I just want to ask you, in your constituency, because me, every soldier who happens to come from my constituency is robbing me to be deployed abroad. They are robbing me, and I'm like, you people, what are you robbing for to go to Somalia? People are robbing right and center. I don't know what is there. That's why me as a civilian, these are issues beyond me. We have one of our own who was deployed in Somalia, Honorable Bernard Otim.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. My name is Otim Bernard. Now, this is the right time to add retired sergeant, because we are talking matters of security. We are talking matters of people who serve this country. I'm giving you personal experience and also a word of encouragement. I worked in Somalia under AMISOM for 1 year, 2019-2020. It is out of the money I got from Somalia that I was able to go back to school. I studied law, I'm a lawyer. And that is why I'm here. So, honorable members, life is lived once. Whether you stay in this parliament, whether you stay where, you'll die. And not everybody who has gone to Somalia or whichever mission have died. The generals are here. I was in Somalia with the Honorable Mulongo, who was our boss then. Honorable Lydia Wanyoto is there. So,
I didn't know a general can request a sergeant. I thought you ordered.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and colleague, for giving way. I want to inform this House, building on what he was presenting, that in the structure of the UPDF, we have a full-fledged international peace support training center, single. This is a center well supported internationally. I want to allay any fears. The contingent that will be selected will not just go as if they are just moving to dance. They are going to go through the International Peace Support Training Center, and that's why my colleague who went through that center was able to survive.
Tim,
yes, Right Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, therefore, it's important that as we send these men and women to go and provide the much needed peace in the Middle East, we pray for them. It's important that whatever matter is going to be raised here is taken in good spirit. Personally, I was the admin and personnel officer of the police contingent in Somalia. I was responsible for processing payments of all police officers, and nobody is complaining of payments. This is an assurance to the people here that in our communities, we even have town councils named Somalia. This is evidence that people who went to Somalia came back and built homes, built trading centers. So this is not just a mission. It is an economic empowerment to our men and women in uniform. And therefore stand to support the motion that our officers be deployed. Thank you.
Lop, you told me you had some issues you wanted to raise.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, as first, I want to associate myself with the submission of the Honorable from Kabula. I was in this house when Honorable Chionga came one time seeking the resolution of Parliament. And what actually happened is that after some time, we received a lot of complaints. And as several officers who actually kept on asking us that under what terms are we being deployed? Because we are deploying Uganda People's Defense Forces. We are not deploying an army belonging to an individual. That's why there is parliamentary resolution and all parliamentary approval. Right Honorable Speaker, I do not want actually myself to debate from just a point of procedure, because there have been issues which have been consistently raised by people who have been deployed out of the country, and issues have not been resolved. Time and again, by us saying that we are debating this matter in this direction, we wanted an opportunity to review and then either support when we know that actually there's going to be no reoccurrence of issues which have been raised, because if a justifiable cause has been raised, and we all think that actually it is important that we do, I would still, Right Honorable Speaker, insist that if this House is to pass this motion in the form it is, then the Minister of Defense be tasked to lay on table the agreements under which our forces are going, so that we know that this is not business for few individuals within the UPDF. Honorable Chionga is here. The last time he was here, soldiers were complaining. When the agreement was laid, the agreement was talking about different amounts to be given to soldiers who are going. And officers were giving different amounts. So that's why we needed actually the details of this agreement. So because we don't want to look like we're on this side, we're just opposed to the deployment if there is good cause.
Honorable Speaker,
Minister,
we cannot, the reason we are here is so we can enter into the agreement. If we enter into the agreement before coming here, you blame us for entering into the agreement before coming here. So we can talk about who is going to fund, but we cannot sign the agreement. The reason we are asking for your approval is in order for us to enter the agreement.
Thank you.
But the laying we can do.
Now, honorable colleagues, as you know, whatever we resolve, okay, here, whatever decisions we come to, we have committees which follow up on them and continue reporting periodically, okay? But I would also agree, I totally agree with the leader of opposition that indeed we would need the agreement laid here on table once concluded. If it is of classified nature, we would have a way of handling it. If there are issues, if it's open, we would have a way of handling it. Okay? But what is important is that it's a matter which you don't just conclude and you say you go to sleep. You continue monitoring as an institution through the relevant committees of the House. Honourable Minister, many issues were raised. Let's first get these ones out of our way. No, colleagues, I'm allowing the minister to first. I want first listen to the minister.
The issue that was raised by Honorable Nambeshi has been, I think, well addressed by Honorable Masiko. UPDF is a trained force, not a football team. So we are ready. If you give us the permission, we have the skill and capacity to maintain the peace. Honorable Sewungu, I'm sorry, my shadow Minister of Defense, I thought by interacting with you in the committee and informing you, and we actually, Honorable Chair, I did raise this issue in the committee and a number of questions were raised. When I appeared before the committee, I did mention that I am coming to the House to seek a motion and we discuss it, but next time I'll even give written notice. Honorable Chirumira, yes, we are a member of UOC, just like we are, IOC, sorry, just like OIC, Organization of Islamic, but we are also members of the UN. So we are going under the UN auspices. But just for your information, just for your information, the following countries have signed on to this. We shall ensure that whatever facilitation, whatever is supposed to be given to the troops is being done. The CDF troops is being done. The CDF has a purely no corruption policy in the UPDF, and I support him fully on that. I think I've finished all the issues. Thank you.
So, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The corruption under from the minister is that
you now put the question that the motion for his resolution of Parliament support the deployment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent as part of an international deployment of the Uganda People's Defence Forces contingent as part of an international contingent as part of an international stabilization force in the as a strip at the invitation we shall agree. Copy of the Hansard and transmit them to the relevant minister. Next item. Relevant minister. Next item. Let's be doing the motion, State of the Nation. Let's be doing the motion, State of the Nation, we still have gazetting. Yes.
To the Committee of East African Affairs, to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and Honorable Odori John MP Kagoma North, from the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs, to the Committee of Physical Infrastructure, Odori John MP Kagoma North, from the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs, to the Kagoma North, from the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs to the Committee of Physical Infrastructure, I beg this.
Honorable colleagues, I put a question that the proposed designation be approved. Those in favor say and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Next item.
Item 5 on the order paper, motion for a resolution of Parliament to express gratitude to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for the clear and precise exposition of government policy contained in the State of the Nation Address to Parliament of Uganda on 4th June 2026. Debate continues.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, I'll start with Dr. Mande Rudy, followed by Honorable James Ongu and Honorable Wembabazi Beatrice. I have the list. So I'll be reading from the list and taking off.
Including and colleagues.
Honorable switch on the microphone.
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I come from Bukonzo County East in Kasese District, which is part of the Rwenzori Mountain, one of Uganda's greatest natural treasures, and a high coffee producing area. I respectfully pray that government prioritizes the construction of the Trans-Rwenzori Mountain Road that will connect from Wera, Bukonzo East, through Bukonzo East, and the other districts of Ntoroko and Bundibujo. This will be a strategic investment in tourism, national security, agriculture, mining, and also cross-border trade. Right Honorable Speaker, on industrial growth, while I appreciate the Presidential Industrial Skilling Hub in Kasese, I pray that government fast-tracks the revitalization of Kilempe mines, accelerate investment for Kasese Industrial Hub, and also the improvement of Kasese Airport into an international airport. This has capacity airport into an international airport. This has capacity to boost trade, tourism,
and socio-economic transformation of the area, in addition to providing jobs to our people. Like I've stated, Bukonzo County East is one of the leading coffee producing areas in our area. I thank His Excellency the President for the government's commitment on the continued supply of free coffee seedlings. I pray that government considers establishing a nursery bed in the area. We have a government land called Nyavirongo that will ensure sustainable coffee seedlings production. On education, Right Honorable Speaker, Bukonzo County East still has 4 sub-counties that don't have a government-aided school. And these are sub-counties, each with a population of more than 30,000 people. I so pray that government thinks about establishing seed secondary schools in these areas, but also rehabilitate the aging primary schools. And there are institutions like Mutanywana Secondary School, Sadi Secondary School, and St. Teresa Girls Secondary School that should be considered for additional infrastructure like classrooms, libraries, and laboratories. Right Honorable Speaker, every rainy season that comes with anxiety for the families living in Bukonzo County East, where floods and the landslides destroy roads, homes, bridges, and livelihoods. I so pray that government comes up with long-term interventions, especially one that includes distilling River Nyamugasani and ensuring the banks are protected. Here we are protecting, and in Nyamwamba, thank you. We are protecting an entire town council that is at the breach of being swept away by this river. In addition to the bridges, I thank Minister of Works and Transport for the 4 bridges that have been constructed in Bukonzo County East. However, one of them, which is on this river, is at a risk of being swept away as the river keeps changing course. Right, Honorable?
Thank you. Clerk, please, 3 minutes. On State of the Nation, we are doing 3 minutes. Honorable James Ongu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. For the record, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm the Honorable Member for Kwania North, and my name is Ongu James Star. Mr. Speaker, I rise to join colleagues in Parliament to appreciate the President of the Republic of Uganda for the well-measured speech that he presented to the nation on the 4th of June. Mr. Speaker, sir, I listened to the President, and by the time I left Kololo, I was well convinced that Uganda, and indeed the country, is on a positive trajectory. So I want to say thank you very much to the President for that. For the interest of my constituency, Kwania North, Mr. Speaker, we have this challenge of youth and youth unemployment. I want to put on record, Mr. Speaker, sir, that 62% of the youth in my constituency in Kwania are neither in education, they are neither in skills, they are also not in jobs. 62%. This is above the national average of about 52%. Mr. Speaker, sir, the youth question, not only in Kwania, not only in Lango, not only in Teso, Acholi, West Nile, Bukedi, need to be looked at by this Parliament with a more microscopic exactness, Mr. Speaker. I want to add, Mr. Speaker, that if there are many youth who are redundant, who are delinquents, who are unemployed, Mr. Speaker, this presents some challenges. For example, it is a lost opportunity in terms of production. If the youth are not producing, they are not participating in production, Mr. Speaker, this is a challenge. But also in terms of social stability of the country, Mr. Speaker. If our youth are not engaged, This is a risk in terms of stability, and our senior military officers are here. And I'd like to recommend and propose two things, Mr. Speaker. We have the presidential skilling hubs in every sub-region of Uganda, Mr. Speaker, sir. Is it possible to increase the number of youth who are skilled per sub-county? At the moment...
Thank you. Honorable Wembaba's Beatrice.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Wembaba's Beatrice, the Woman Member of Parliament for Hoima District. Right Honorable Speaker, I raised to second the motion of Parliament, or resolution of Parliament, to express gratitude to the President of Uganda for his precise exposition of the government policy into the State of National Address. Right Honorable Speaker, the State of National Address clearly gave us the achievement, priorities, and the policy guidelines, policy directives that the government has undertaken. It reaffirms the commitment of government in promoting peace and security, infrastructure development, service delivery, and the well-being of the community. Going to my constituency in Hoima District, I want to bring the attention of this Parliament to the unique challenge that is facing my district, Hoima. Hoima District, Right Honorable Speaker, is experiencing a rapid population influx over the last 2 decades due to the oil and gas development. It has become a destination of workers, job seekers, investors from all over, both within the country and outside the country. Right Honorable Speaker, there is an overmatch, there is a mismatch of funding vis-a-vis the population growth in my district. I have a request to put across in this House. I request the Minister of Finance, Right Honorable Speaker, to increase the funding for Hoima and also the budget for Hoima District, because we are getting overcrowding of hospitals, overcrowding in schools. We are competing for infrastructure in our district because of the population influx. I beg to submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Kanabi.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, Kanabi Jime, MP Wiyoko South Constituency, Shadow Minister, Public Service. Right Honorable Speaker, in line with Sana Head, the President emphasized to combat corruption tendencies in this country. But Right Honorable Speaker, in local government, we have vital statutory bodies like District Land Board, District Service Commission, PAC, local government, and those committees, Right Honorable Speaker, they are comprised of 5 members. But Right Honorable Speaker, to your notice, those committees are not being paid. They only survive on allowances, and always those allowances are attached to local revenue. And remember, in local governments, that is the source which is not secure. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to bring it to your attention, even to this Honorable House. Those are the committees, or those are the bodies at local government to come up with a solution over these committees. Because I know all the honorable members here, there is outcry for District Service Commission, District Land Board. But they are working voluntarily, but they are extorting a lot of monies from our voters. Right Honorable Speaker, on the same issue, on salary disparities, it is only in Uganda where the supervisors are getting less to the people they are supervising. A case in point, Right Honorable Speaker, the Chief Administrative Officer and the supervisor, the person who supervises Chief Administrative Officer, those are LC5s, they are earning 2.6 gross. And even the chairman, LC3s and honorable councillors, we need to come up with a solution over this matter. I know the government assured to increase, to do some salary enhancement to local leaders, but even this financial year, things have not yet changed. I call upon this honorable house to take this issue very sensitive, because our comrades down there, they are suffering. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable Muchibi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am Muchibi Elias Aserunjoji from Butambala. Honorable Speaker, I read the President's State of the Nation address together with the response by the Leader of the Opposition. I noted from my former profession as a journalist, we collect speeches, and there was very little to differentiate the President's speech from what he has said for over a decade. And there are pertinent issues about our country that we must do. The Leader of the Opposition, in his response, and I collected the responses of the leaders of the opposition every year, the key issues that they raise are the same. The President talks about what has to be done and then details achievements, and then the Leader of the Opposition comes out to critique it and show there's so many gaps that have not been filled. And that has become a ritual for a very long time. I think one thing that hasn't been done, and this Parliament needs to pay attention to, is to ask the key question, why? Why do the speeches tend to go back to the same things that never seem to get done? And one aspect, in the interest of time, that I think is important for this Parliament to pay attention to is program, project, policy design. And I'll give one example. The first business that we handled, serious business that we handled as this Parliament, was to approve a loan for irrigation for coffee. I come from a coffee growing area, and I am very worried that over 95% of the people from Butambala who grow coffee and have relied on it for a long time are not supposed to benefit. Because the way the project was designed, it is supposed to benefit people, coffee farmers who have 10 acres, between 10 and 20 acres. Most of the coffee growers in my area have 1 acre to 5. So they are technically out. But we are talking about a very serious issue of irrigation. We want to irrigate our coffee, and then the people who are most likely to suffer from drought when it hits are those who have smaller coffee chambers because they don't have the money. Now we are contracting the biggest loan that the Ministry of Water has ever contracted to irrigate our coffee.
Thank you. Honorable Rinito Geneva. Followed by Honorable Goire Moses.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. First, allow me to begin by congratulating you upon election as the Deputy Speaker of this August House. I wish you wisdom, success, and strength in leading this August House serving our nation, Uganda. I also express my heartfelt gratitude to the people of Rubiris district for entrusting me with the mandate of representing you as the woman MP. I appreciate His Excellency, the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the NRM government for the development programs that are transforming communities through initiatives like Emyoga and Parish Development Model, as they were clearly laid out in the State of the Nation address. While acknowledging the progress, Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to draw the attention of this House to the key priorities in Rubiris district among many. In Rubiris district, there is an urgent need of upgrading the Rugazi Health Center to a district hospital. This is so urgent in the way that Rubirizi has a population which is over 160 people. And of the significance is boosted.
Thank you. Darado Nebogoira Mazos. Followed by Honorable Sange Jakri.
Right Honorable Speaker, the President reaffirmed the government commitment to peace, unity, and socio-economic transformation. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to draw the attention of this House to Article Barrio. Honorable Speaker, since then, the Ikumbani of Bugwere has stayed without a substantive Ikumbania. It is my prayer to this august House and to you, the Speaker, to the government of Uganda and the line ministry. We need the ministry to intervene and restore this culture.
Sanga Jacqueline is my name, woman member of parliament from Queen District. I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to speak before the honorable members of parliament today. It is my honor. Mr. Speaker, sir, Queen District maintains, Mr. Speaker, sir, Queen District maintains about 200-kilometer road, and our roads are rocky, making it difficult to be maintained. And my humble request is I request, and by the records in the district last, year, we had that one of the schools called Ngenge Seed Senior Secondary School was to be constructed. To my dismay this morning, I heard that such a one school has been dropped. I beg to request to get the clarity from this honorable house, through you, Mr. Speaker, to the Minister of Education, to give clarification to why such a single school, which could have helped our children, has been dropped. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Colleagues, it's 4. Once it's 4 p.m. on a Thursday, it's Prime Minister's time. And we are late by 5 minutes. So, next item, then we shall come back to the debate.
Item 3, statement by the Right Honorable Prime Minister on government business for the succeeding week, 11th to 13th August 2026, pursuant to Rule 29 of the Rules of Procedure.
Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, good afternoon. Right Honorable Speaker, I move pursuant to Rule 29 of our Rules of Procedure as a leader of government business in Parliament to make a statement regarding business of the succeeding week. And that week is from 11th to 13th August 2026. Number 1, we shall have comprehensive ministerial statements on medical interns. Number 2, the statement of health service delivery in the country. Number 3, we shall present a comprehensive ministerial statement on the government measures to address human-wildlife conflict across the country. And number 4, a comprehensive statement on the national policy for the national cleaning days. We shall give you a comprehensive statement for you to be more knowledgeable than our people. Then we shall present a ministerial statement on the meteorological forecast of Uganda for this season. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you. Now, colleagues who had questions to do with the cleaning day, I think we can wait for that comprehensive statement. Next item.
Item 4, Prime Minister's time.
Right Honorable Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, you are aware I'm supposed to give written responses for 20 minutes and then oral questions thereafter. I got a question from Honorable Joyo Harriet, woman member of Parliament, Obongi. She says that Koki Bridge construction in Obongi district, Itula sub-county, commenced on 12th February 2023 under Dr. Deep in my office. And the end date was 27th December 2023. According to her, to date, the construction is about 85% complete. And that since December 2023, the works have stalled for now 2 years, affecting effective service delivery. And her prayer is, can I update the House on the status of this bridge? Right Honorable Speaker and members, the bridge was financed under Dr. Deep. That is Development Response to Displacement Impact Project 1. That is Dr. Deep 1. The work completed so far is approximately 90%. Following implementation challenges, Right Honorable Speaker, a joint technical review was conducted by the Ministry of Works and Transport and my office and Obongi District Local Government, and it was established that the original 15-meter single span bridge design was inadequate to safely accommodate the hydraulic capacity of river coach, particularly during the periods of high flows, that is during the rainy season. Consequently, high flows of vehicles and rain. Consequently, the bridge was redesigned to a more resilient 20-meter double span structure. The revised design significantly increased the quantities of concrete, reinforcement steel, earthworks, and the associated construction works, resulting in a funding gap of 1.83 billion over and above the original contract sum of 2.44 billion. Right Honorable Speaker and members, government recognizes the inconvenience that this delay has caused to the people of that district, particularly the disruption to the movement of people, goods, and access to essential social services during the periods when the river Kochi floods. This project has been earmarked to be completed under Dr. Deep 2, which is being implemented under my office. And I promise that I will technically and personally pick interest in this matter so that this bridge is completed. and I will visit the site myself. Right Honorable Speaker, the second question came from Protasio Begumisa, MP Ndorwa East, and that the rubbish dump at Kabalega, Chanamira, Kabalaga, Chanamira sub-county Kabale, you know Kabalega from Kakumira also. The rubbish dump at Kabalaga, Chanamira sub-county Kabale is posing a serious risk to the lake Kagurusi family, to the late Kagurusi family and the other families in Karubanda Valley. It seems it has reached its carrying capacity and could flow downwards anytime because of topography. His prayers has looked for another location. Number 2, that we buy equipment that can turn the rubbish into something useful, such as fertilizer. Is that Kabale Municipal Council has procured 3.175 hectares of land at Kabalaga, Kaharo sub-county, about 15 kilometers outside Kabale Municipal Council. By December 2026, the Municipal Council will have moved from Chanamira landfill to the new site. On the issue of buying equipment that turns waste into something useful, like fertilizer, electricity, the Ministry of Local Government has finalized the draft waste management policy. And upon approval by Cabinet, the policy will be brought to the House, because the policy proposes reforms that will help us to turn waste into wealth. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Local Government will in the meantime visit the site and study the proposal to turn waste into wealth through public-private partnership. The third question came from Protasio Begumisa again, Ndorwa East. There is no all-week telecom network in areas of Kavu, Nyabichwamba, Kafunjo, and Ntalabano. Rwanda network seems stronger in these areas and interferes with communication in the areas mentioned above. And his prayer is that UCC and the ministry responsible for communication comes to the rescue of his people so that they can communicate like other Ugandans. Right Honorable Speaker and members, this is my response. To systematically address coverage gaps in these challenging areas, government has approved a clear time of Kivu will be added. For avoidance of doubt, not later than June. June 2027 flight and approval by international bodies including the International Communication Union, ITU. Once these frameworks are secured and aligned with the national regulations, mobile satellite services will be authorized in Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, with the regard to network signaling from Rwanda, raised the matter which road that has not been maintained for more than 3 years now. Muhanga been maintained for more than 3 years now. Muhanga, Chisizi, Kebison Road that has Chisizi, Kebison Road that has Cavalry Station is currently working on maintenance of Muhanga Kisizi Kebison Road spot, that is spot grading, spot graving, graveling and Karavata. Rwamuchuchu was last maintained in Q1 financial year 2025-2026. Rwamuchuchu was last maintained in Q1 financial year 2025-2026. However, due to heavy traffic and incremental weather, the road deteriorated very fast. Let Honorable Speaker, the fifth deteriorated very fast. Let Honorable Speaker, the fifth came from operative units, and that is it. Number 6, Honorable Pio Dennis. Geoffrey, MP, Nuya County. And that and that on their sons, release of the dead. Of lives been respected and loss of lives under unclear been respected and loss of lives under unclear respected and loss of lives under unclear and loss of lives under unclear circumstances continue to happen. In customary rules and acceptable practice, customary rules and acceptable practices of the affected communities. The third one is fast track the compensation of all earlier submitted claims for damages caused to properties, crops, and lives lost. Right Honorable Speaker and crops and lives lost. Right Honorable Speaker and members, here is my response. On the prayer of Parliament, but no evidence was found at the of Parliament, but no evidence was found at the alleged scene of crime. Nevertheless, government has directed the Uganda Police Force to continue with investigations, and the culprits will be held accountable under the law. On the prayer for under the law. On the prayer for recovery and handover. On the prayer for recovery and handover. Reported dead bodies of compensation claims. Government acknowledges the pending compensation claims for damages to property, crops, lives lost, etc. The Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, citizen, ensuring accountability of officers and balancing wildlife conservation with the rights and safety of our people. The seventh question came from Peace Tibiaze, woman MP, Jinja District. The member raised an issue regarding the presidential pledge to acquire a sugar factory for sugar farmers. She noted that while meeting sugarcane growers and millers in Mayuge district, His Excellency the President pledged that government would acquire the Mayuge sugar factory and hand it over to Busoga sugarcane outgrowers to address exploitation by millers and improve farmer outcomes. And her prayer is, could the Prime Minister update the House on the progress made in implementing this presidential directive, including expected timeline for this fulfillment. My response, Right Honorable Speaker, is that while government was advancing plans to implement the pledge, proprietors of Mayuge Sugar Industries approached government and formally expressed their willingness to sell the existing factory to government for eventual transfer to the people of Busoga. This development presented an alternative implementation option that could accelerate the realization of the presidential pledge by utilizing an already established industrial facility. Subsequently, His Excellency the President engaged the leadership and representatives of the people of Busoga and briefed them of the proposal presented by the proprietors of Mayuge Sugar Industries Limited. Having considered the proposal, the representatives of the people of Busoga expressed their concurrence with the proposed arrangement and welcomed the initiative as a viable means of fulfilling the presidential pledge. Following these engagements, His Excellency the President directed the relevant ministries, departments and agencies to undertake comprehensive legal, financial, commercial and technical due diligence on the proposed acquisition. The purpose of this exercise was to ensure that any eventual transaction is concluded through a legally sound, commercially viable, and financially prudent contractual framework that safeguards the public interest while securing the long-term interest of the people. Right Honorable Speaker and members, government has in the meantime already taken concrete steps towards implementing the presidential pledge. Funds were released for the acquisition of the land on which the proposed sugar factory is to be established. The identified land is situated in Bukoma village in Bukoma sub-county, Luka North constituency, Luka district, and constitutes an important milestone towards the implementation process. Question number 8 is from Honorable Opio Dennis, Geoffrey, Nuoya County. Nuoya district. That the Karuma hydropower dam project was started in 2013 and completed and officially commissioned by His Excellency the President on September 6, 2024. 13 years down the road, 118 pups meant to be resettled in 200 acres of land acquired by government in a Rapono village, Anaka sub-county, Nuoya County, in Nuoya district, are stranded, languishing in destitution and object poverty. Some of the pups, particularly the elderly, disabled, and those living positively, have since passed on without being resettled. His prayer is that What is government? What is the government's position on the plight of these project-affected persons of Karuma Hydropower Dam? Right Honorable Speaker and members, this is my response. Basically, to inform you that the procurement process for the construction of resettlement houses is currently underway in accordance with the Public Procurement Disposal of Public Assets Act. The procurement opportunity has already been advertised in the print media. The process is progressing, and upon its successful conclusion, the successful contractor will be mobilized to commence construction of the settlement houses in this financial year, 2026-2027. Government remains committed to ensuring that the settlement process is resilient. The prayer is that can government plan a special, dedicated, international, affirmative, his prayer is that can the government plan a special, dedicated, intentional, affirmative program to construct valley dams and drill deep boreholes in the Karamoja region to supply water for consumption and water for production. What is through constructing the desilting has been done in collaboration with ministries, departments and agencies of water and environment, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, among others. This effort is complemented through partnership with development partners, NGOs, civil society organizations operating in Karamoja. Let Honorable Speaker and members, to further strengthen sustainable development in Karamoja, Cabinet directed the Ministry of Planning, the National Planning Authority in September 2022 to develop a 10-year comprehensive Karamoja Regional Development Plan aligned to the National Development Plan. Cabinet approved the plan in July 2025 and implementation has commenced. The Karamoja Regional Development Plan focuses on addressing the persistent development and humanitarian challenges that have affected the region over the years. Question number 10 came from Honorable Karuya Andrew Kiza, Chiguru South. He says that following the government takeover in 2022 and the subsequent handover of its land and assets by the Church of Uganda in December 2024, Busoga University is yet to commence operations as a public university because the necessary statutory instruments to legally operationalize it have not been issued. And his prayer is, when will government issue the required statutory instruments to operationalize Busoga University as a public university, and what measures are being taken to expedite this process to enable appointment of its government organs, allocation of funding, and admission of students. Below is my response, Right Honorable Speaker and members, that the establishment of a public university requires mandatory legal, financial, and administrative processes to be completed in the prescribed statutory sequence. Substantial progress has been made, including the settlement of liabilities, transfer of the university's assets to government, development of academic programs, and the preparation of the governance structure. The remaining steps relate principally to statutory approvals. The Minister of Education and Sports will present the Cabinet Memorandum. On the other hand, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development is also processing the certificate of financial implication required to accompany the memorandum. The university's governing and administrative organs will be constituted after the statutory instruments establishing the university have been enacted. Student admission will commence after the university has been legally established and its Senate constituted, since the Senate is the organ mandated to admit students. Honorable Mariam, Iganga district. She says that besides primary transit highway linking Kampala to Busia and Mbale, the internal road network across Iganga, comprising of both feeder roads and those under management of the Ministry of Works and Transport, is deeply degraded. Impeding trade, manual routine maintenance works are being carried out by the labor-based contractors, and mechanized maintenance work, pothole patching, road marking, and culvert replacement works are ongoing. Buwenge, Nakabugu, Kaliro Road, 15 kilometers under Iganga district. The road is currently in good condition. A routine manual maintenance by labor-based contractors is ongoing. Grading the entire road length was completed in April 2026, and the AMCO culverts were installed. Right Honorable Speaker and members, access to Iganga rail station, that's 1 kilometer, routine manual maintenance by labor-based contractors is ongoing. Iganga Mayuge, that's 10 kilometers under Iganga district. Manual routine maintenance works by labor-based contractors and routine mechanized maintenance works under framework under the framework contract by ETATS Limited is ongoing. Nawandala, Nambale, Namalemba, Kisiro Road, 20 kilometers under Iganga district. The road is also in good condition. Iganga Busesa, Nawangisa, 10 kilometers under Iganga district. The road is also in good condition. Iganga Bulopa, Kamuli, 10 kilometers under Iganga district is also in good condition. Upgrading construction works is being carried out by the contractor, Arab contractors. I got another question, Right Honorable Speaker, from Honorable Mariam, still Iganga, and this, she says that at Iganga General Hospital, health care and maternal health infrastructure remain heavily congested and under-resourced due to the rising number of health service seekers from within and neighboring communities, forcing many mothers on floor spaces. And her prayer is that immediate infrastructure intervention by the Ministry of Health to expand and adequately equip the maternity and neonatal wings and definitive timelines for upgrading neighboring health center 3s and 2 and 4s to alleviate this congestion. Right Honorable Speaker and members, my response is that government has taken note of funds. And of course you are aware that the policy is each constituency should have a health center for. Honorable Quintui, Grace Freedom, Ora County. Right Honorable Speaker and members, she says we have information that the feasibility study for the 119-kilometer Nebigoli, Paida, Zombo, Zo, Wa, and Ivura Road was completed way back in 2017. In October 2025, they were informed that the contract for Goli, Paida, Zombo, up to Vura Road would be signed in April 2026, and construction would commence soon after. Her prayer is that people of Zombo would like to know when the contract would be signed and when the construction of Goli Paida Zombo Vura Road will commence. That Honorable Speaker and members, the feasibility studies and detailed designs for the upgrade of Goli Paida Zombo Vura were completed in March 2018. Due to the passage of time, these studies require updating. The Ministry of Works and Transport received my guidance to work with China Hui for upgrading the Goli Paida Zombo on a pre-financing basis dated 23rd September 2024. The ministry is working with the contractor to update the designs before commencement of the procurement. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I got another question from Honorable Achayo Julie, Ngora County. Right Honorable Speaker, the member is asking their new compensation figures were arbitrarily determined and are inadequate. The line ministry once assured the Committee on National Economy that compensation was well provided for, yet on ground our people are crying for. And her prayer is that the minister sends valuers on ground to transparently explain to the PAPs how the compensation figures were arrived at. This is the only way to eliminate controversies and have a seamless execution of the long-awaited project. My response, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that the compensation awards given to the project-affected persons were as a result of the market research, and consequently, these were approved by the Chief Government Valuer. However, where grievances arise, we have a grievance readiness mechanism on the project through project grievance management committees for the respective sub-counties to take note of these issues. Our land acquisition team has been instructed to go back on ground and address these issues. Question number 15, Right Honorable Speaker and members, came from Honorable Okeo Peter, Bukoli Island, County Namaingo District. He says that Parliament appropriated money last financial year for rescue centers on our lakes to save people from water accidents on Siguru, Kalangala, and Buvuma Islands. To date, none is functional. And the prayer is, can you please update on the matter? And this is my response, and I believe this is the last question I got. Right Honorable Speaker and members, these funds which were allocated under the Multinational Lake Victoria Maritime Communication and Transport Project, the project was funded by African Development Bank and Government of Uganda, which commenced in 2018 and was completed in March 2026. The Government of Uganda